a little sick today, so let's just go ahead with the ironic saying about the goldfish boy. About a boy who wants to prevent sickness from happening to anyone in his life. So first of all, The Goldfish Boy is a book about this boy named Matthew Corbin. Turns out that's a really good name. It was published in 2017. And this book, that was written by Lisa Thompson, is about this boy who has germophobia. And he's had it for a few years now, since I guess he was like 7, I believe. It was that happened, and so he has germophobia, and basically everyone's like, hey, it's that guy again, So he like tries to lock himself away in a room as many times as he could, and he goes ahead and is like, hey, there are too many germs here. Okay, I see germs on this bottle. I see germs on this sink. I see germs on my hands right now. I see germs on these tissues. I see germs on these pencils. Everything has germs. So he basically, one day, he went and grabbed some bleach with his bare hands, which you should not do, and started cleaning everything with bleach with his own hands. And of course, his hands got blistered, so his mom got terrified, and, well, he asked for, can I just have, like, 100 pair of disposable gloves instead? And he's like, sure, Matthew. She's like, sure, Matthew. And that happens. And then for 5 years, he's had 100 pairs of disposable disposable latex gloves. I'm pretty sure it's disposable gloves, cleaning gloves, where he kept cleaning his room every day, 24/7. Well, maybe not 24/7, but as much as he wanted to. Of course, he wouldn't know that germs are literally everywhere right now. Of course, germs are everywhere, but not. But the thing is, you can't get rid of germs. They're still going to be there. Sure, you can make it worse. You can make it better, but you can't make it completely good. Perfect. I guess he did know that, but for some reason he has that piece of wiring in his brain that said, hey, germs are here. Don't believe that guy. It's you that your baby brother died. Well, I guess that's what he kept trying to do. He convinced himself that it was his reason that his baby brother, Callum, turns out that his name is Callum, died because, well, according to the end of the book, we don't learn this until the end of the book, when he was 7, I believe. It doesn't really say an age. When he was 7, his mom was was pregnant, and it was weeks away from being going and expecting again. So that happens, but in the middle of the night of one time when his mom was weeks away from expecting, it just so happens that Matthew got chicken pox. And Matthew basically wanted to show up, and his mom was too slow to react, because she has a freaking baby in her stomach, and it's kind of hard for moms to do stuff when babies are in stomachs. That happens, and so he threw all over his mom, on her leg, on her arm, everything. Gross. And I've seen puke. It's gross. Also, it's not green for me. It's yellowish, usually. Anyway, so that happens, and so during the week, his mom tends to him for chickenpox, and before the week's over, chickenpox is gone. The next thing that happens is that his mom goes to take out the baby, to give birth to the baby, and then the baby comes out, but he dies. They decide to name him Callum, though, just before he died. And then they decided to bury him, and Matthew started blaming himself for the death of his baby brother that he never got to know, and said, hey, I don't want to kill anyone else anymore. It's my fault that people are going to die anyway if I don't control these germs. And so he basically had an OCD about germs. And then when he found out that their neighbor were expecting a baby, a first ever baby, he started getting worried more, because he remembered what happened to Callum. So he's like, hey, I should start doing this more, especially until the baby's a grown adult or something. Meaning that he would probably be worser, it would get worse. And so he got a therapist for some random reason. He got a good therapist, Dr. Rhodes, I believe that was his name. And then this random baby and girl who went over here, the girl was like, hey, it's the goldfish boy girl. Hey, why? Ha, it's the goldfish boy. You're gonna die if you go out there. Don't go out of your tank. Yeah. that happens. And his baby brother's like, it's the goldfish boy, it's the goldfish boy. And everything that seems to happen so quickly that the only word that he seems to talk about is fishy. And he's 15 months old. Well, I just read a part of the book again, and it is latex gloves. Also, why would he have latex gloves and not those like random disposable gloves that they have? Because if they're not disposable, it's interchangeable sprayed. I guess that would be his reason. Anyway, so that comes back. And then there's this random guy who's the toddler brother of that guy, Cassie, who's the one who's like, yeah, all that stuff. And he says fishy. It turns out that's probably his third word, because before that, all he could say is Cassie and lots of other things, too. Whenever they try... Okay, so he's kidnapped. Everyone's in a random chase. Matthew tries to go solve the case with a new friend he made called Melody Bird and an old frenemy, I should say. I'm not sure about that because he's technically a bully now. Jake Bishop. And now that we're here, well, it's the end of the story. The goldfish boy, Teddy Dawson, Teddy was kidnapped and later, after lots and lots of investigating and lots of suspicious snooping and stuff, turns out the one who was loony was not the goldfish boy, but the one who kidnapped Teddy, who said, my reason for kidnapping Teddy, so that he will have an actual living mom, unlike the one who tried to raise him and skip him over to a grandpa who doesn't even care about him. So yeah, end of story. I carried him like a little loving mother should. Didn't I, Cassie? And Cassie like, what are you talking about? I didn't see you that day. Well, she is a bully, so I'm not sure if I believe her. And so the goldfish boy happened to be great, sure, that we expected. A danger that has been passed. And then eventually, he did have some therapy. And after all that therapy, he'll probably get okay. I'm not sure myself because that's where the book ends. Getting a therapy, and like the second time he's had therapy. And then we end up with a party just started. And that's pretty much the end of the story. I guess the next thing I should probably tell you guys about is how crime seems to involve in this story. Crime is a big thing here. Also, the crime in this story is a little weird and messed up. It does kind of make sense, sure, you might see how you could have done better if you had kids, but you don't have kids, so you can't say about anything against that person. But the next thing I know is that you should always let the people who care them most, let them do their job. If they don't even care about them much, then let them be. But it's not your responsibility. Even if you do want to do something to it, then do the things you can actually do without committing a crime, actually. Don't take this book as a lesson on how to do crime. If you're a mom or a dad who wants to be a mom and dad. So that's about it. I guess that's the conclusion of The Goldfish Boy. This is my best analysis, as my brain is a little muddy from the sickness. I think I got the cold. The Goldfish Boy. So that's about it. So I hope to see you guys soon. Shannon out. Peace.